Good morning everybody, how are you today? My name is Grace and welcome to my little podcast called Babbles Travelling Yarns. So today we're going to be talking a bit about a giveaway, a winner of a giveaway, a KAL that's coming up, some whips, no FOs today, but that's okay, some whips and a new venture in my life, which is exciting. So stay on to the end if you want to hear about that. So today I'm drinking some Nettle Tea. I'm basically trying to clear out the cupboard of tea because I've only been in this house 2 months and I've still managed to collect like 7 different types of tea. Stop it, Grace. But nettle tea is apparently, I'm obsessed with nettles at the moment, by the way, completely obsessed. There's a lot of nettles around here and apparently you can make fibre from it. And that's going to be another journey sometime when I can get time to cut down nettles and ret them and do all the stuff that you need to do. I don't know when I'm going to get that time, because I've got all these other things now. So, if you don't know, I have recently undergone surgery for my appendix. I got my appendix out 2 weeks ago. I can't believe it. I am feeling so much better, like really surprisingly, amazingly better. So that's awesome. I'm not going back to work for another 2 weeks because, you know, major internal surgery, you don't want to be pushing around heavy machinery and patients and all that sort of stuff. But it means that I can do quite a lot on my time off. And it does make me feel very guilty, and I do feel guilty for not being in work. But I also don't want to cause any long-term damage. So I think I'm fairly justified. But what I have been doing is quite a lot because I can't just stay still. I can't just sit there and do nothing. And I did a lot of sitting down and doing nothing for the first couple of weeks. But anyway, you'll find out what I've been doing in the at the end of the episode. So I've managed to fill my time up. You know, I thought I'd have loads of time and I've managed to fill it all up and I don't know what I'm going to do with all my time. I don't know. Whatever. But the first thing we're going to talk about is the winner of the giveaway. And where have I put my notebook? It's over. So the giveaway was for Ellie of Skein Dear Knits. She's got a beautiful Selbu Mitten colourwork mitten pattern club coming up, where she's going to be the club contains 5 patterns in total. One of them is already out. It's the original Selbu mitten by Skein Dear, and that's included in the bundle. And then the next 4 are coming out for, on the 1st of each month until December. So one in September, October, November and December. So amazing, amazing, amazing prize. Thank you so much, Ellie. She's fantastic, by the way. You need to check her out. If you haven't, you're a crazy person. I'm sorry, that is incredibly ableist. Ignore that. I'm so low. Hang on. Ableist. Grace, don't say that. That's not nice. Okay. Now, so... Oh, okay, so I pulled the the giveaway winner, and the post was number 17, which was GreenBeguine, Abbie from San Francisco. And I think you've won something before. You're a very lucky lady. Or if you haven't, let me know. Anyway, your name is super familiar. Get back to me. Anyway, send me a message on Ravelry and I'll get Ellie to send you over the mitten pattern, okay? Well done. Thanks for entering. She's saying that she really wants to work on colourwork this year. She's kind of a beginner. So these patterns are absolutely perfect for beginners. They're small, they're very quick. They're very quick to knit up, so you get like the instant gratification, and they look super impressive, like super impressive. So have a little look at the mitten pattern. And also, so in the thread that I put up, I said, oh, tell me your experience with colourwork. And some of the things that you guys have done are incredible. Go over and have a look. And I'm just blown away by some of this stuff. There was one, and I can't remember who it is now. Actually, I wonder, do I have it? Or did I get rid of it? Why did I do that? What a silly goose. Ah! It's all gone a bit wrong. It's all gone a bit Pete tongue. Wait a minute. Is that right? Ah! No, don't. Why are you falling? Why are you so fally? I'm scared. It's because I'm not tall enough, I think. Oh, for pity's sake. 1 second, you guys. I need a few books or something. Rib magazine. You're gonna help me. Thanks, guys. You're so kind. I'm still not tall enough. What is wrong with this? Oh, that'll do, I think. Do you like my new globe? I bought it the other day. I was like, how can I not have it? So pretty. Yes. So where was I? Oh yeah, I was gonna find that amazing colourwork. It was a colourwork jumper with a massive octopus on it. I'm sorry. Now I'm gonna be ruining everything. It was so gorgeous. Like, oh my gosh, so gorgeous. And now I can't find it. I need to organize my groups. How do people organize their groups? Mine is just all over the place, and I have to like search through everything. Oh my God. Where is it? Oh my gosh, that Boyland sweater that everyone's going on about is gorgeous. Gorgeous. Oh, here it is. Lucy Schmoosey. I'm going to save this picture right now, and I'm going to put it into the notes because it is amazing. It is absolutely gorgeous. Wait, how do I? Oh no, maybe I can't save it. Save image as. I hope you don't mind, Lucy, but everybody needs to see this. It's too delicious. Lovely. It's called Lucy Schmoosey's Embrace Octopus Sweater. Oh, it's just amazing. Right, okay. Enough fangirling over other people's work, and let's start talking about what I'm doing. So I'm also hosting the Outlander KAL, which is going to run for as long as the series runs. It's going to start on the 10th of September and then finish probably whenever. A lot of people have been on to me about there's different showing times in different countries, and I'm like, should I leave it run to however long it finishes in every country? But that literally could be like 7 years from now. So I'm probably just going to leave it run up until so the 10th of September, probably 2 to 3 months. We'll see how we go. I might, I'm going to leave it open for now. I'll leave the finishing date and for future Grace to worry about, so that we don't have to be panicking. But it's just kind of exciting. So I am going to knit the Fergus Socks by Anna Freeberg, who actually gifted me the pattern last week. I was going to buy it, Anna. I'm so sorry. She gifted it to me. She's so kind. You should definitely have a look. They're gorgeous socks. I'm very excited. And I got the yarn for it. I got a delivery of yarn from Ellie and Ada, which is an Irish indie dyer in County Meath, I think. Ellie and Ada. And it's this absolutely gorgeous purple speckle with some magenta in there and blacks, and oh, it's just gorgeous. And there's this deep plum, it's quite difficult to see, there's this deep plum mini to go with it to do this cuffs, heels and toes. So this is a 50-gram skein and a 20-gram skein, which is really economical if you're thinking about it, because I never ever use the whole skein of yarn. Never. And especially if I'm using heels, toes and cuffs. So these are going to be 2 at a time socks for me. I'm going to do them 2 at a time because I'm going to use up every single part of this, every single bit of this yarn. And I think that's actually going to be possible on a normal pair of socks. So 2 at a time, toe up, starting with this and then using, and then hopefully I'll have enough for the cuff at the top, and if not, I'll just finish in this, so that's fine. So I'm really excited about this. This is incredibly reasonably priced. She has a shop on Etsy. Really brilliant service. I've also ordered her a fibre club, which is super fascinating. I'm so excited. My first ever fibre club, and that should be coming out in the next 3 months, I think. So if you're interested, I don't know if she still has it up on her Etsy, the fibre club option, but you should definitely have a little look at her, have a little gander at her Etsy shop. It's gorgeous. Oh, so gorgeous. This just such intense colors. I love them. So, right, let's get on to what sorry. One more thing about the Outlander KAL. So last week I was thinking about doing a gradient with lots of, and I was showing you all the different types. And thank you so much for the feedback, by the way. Fabulous. I think I might still do that. We'll see. But I'd forgotten about this stunning skein that I have from Nora George Yarns. And this stunning skein is like the perfect Outlander skein. It's called Thistle. It's the Edinburgh Yarn Festival Special Edition. Superwash Merino, 15% Donegal Nep. I mean, it's perfect. I mean, there's nothing else that this can be apart from something to do with Outlander. What I might do is something very simple, because I'm missing simple knitting in my life at the moment. And what I want to do is probably the Hitchhiker. I'm probably just gonna, I'm just thinking, like, I don't know, Hitchhiker is kind of, so the whole premise behind Outlander is that a woman from the 1940s gets transported back in time, and she has to assimilate into 17th century Scotland. And she kind of just ends up kind of tagging along with all these kind of people. So she's like hitchhiking with all these clans, and she ends up with super gorgeous Jamie. So I'm thinking that would be so nice. It would be a nice, easy project, and it's just the most stunning colour you've ever seen. And this will probably be the first time I am actually using Nora George yarns, apart from a swatch for my So Faded, which I still haven't started, but that's another story. Great, awesome. So that's all of my administration and dream knitting. Actually, there might be a little bit more dream knitting later on. We'll see. So I have got a wedding coming up. Today is Sunday the 20th of August, by the way. I've got a wedding coming up on the 26th. Saturday. It's on Saturday. And it's in France. And I leave on Thursday. And I'm not finished. So, but I'm so close now. I'm really so close. I've been distracted by other things. But I'm very close. This thing is going to be huge. I tried to find a cable long enough to show this, and I couldn't find one. So this is the Summer Leaf pattern by Nim Teasdale, and it's all scrunched up, but I've got like quite a lot more of this small cable now, and I think that's enough to start binding off. I'm going to see if I can add in one row of colour-y beads, and if not, if it's looking like not, I'll just finish off wherever I am. And that it'll still be beautiful. I got this is out of Fibre Space's beautiful silk and merino yarn. Absolutely gorgeous. Fibre Space, I think it's just in ecru or natural. And I bought some Knit Pro blocking wires, and this thing was ridiculous to get to Ireland. I had to pay a €25 handling fee because it was outsize. Anyway, whatever, Ireland, that's fine. But it's gonna mean I'm gonna have an amazing shawl at the end of it. Now I really want to pick it up and knit on it. So I was watching the Knitterarium podcast with Ruth, who is another fellow Irish podcaster, and she gave me a beautiful shout out. Thank you so much, Ruth. You're so kind. she was saying, she actually showed us how she beaded, and it's slightly different to the way I bead. So I bead with the dental floss at the moment, and it's literally because the crochet hook I have doesn't go through the holes in these beads. The holes are too small, they're not regular, and it's the quality of the beads that I got. So if you get high quality beads like these ones, I don't know if you'll be able to see these ones, but these are quite dark. I got them from the beads jar, and the holes in them are quite big, and a crochet hook definitely goes through them. I've tested. So that's exciting. I'm going to be using them in a project. I'll show you the project that I want to use it on. So when I was packing away my yarn in plastic bags, as you can see, there's some in plastic bags here, some not because it's acrylic. I found these two yarns. This is Isis Fiber Arts. Look at that sparkle. Holy moly. Now I had started this shawl. I had started a shawl, but my gauge was off, so I ripped it back out, so that's fine. And then I found this beautiful stuff at Edinburgh Yarn Festival. So this is Billiam hand-dyed natural yarns in the Silka base, 80% merino wool, 20% silk, and it's fingering weight. And it's this stunning gradient. So I was thinking, start off with this and then start off with the center of this, or go the other way around, start off with the outside of this because I don't like center pull balls, but anyway, and then finish off with this and then use these stunning kind of galaxy color beads. Oh, they're so pretty. So I think that would be so nice. But yeah. Anyway, I don't know what pattern. I was thinking maybe that Solaris, you know, the pie shawl with all of the constellations on it and stuff. I'm not sure. I don't know if I'd be any... Well, Jocelyn said it was easy, so I don't know. I don't know. Thoughts and feelings on that. I'm kind of over lace, but also I know it's going to look super pretty, so... You need lace really with beads, don't you? It doesn't really... Maybe it's going to be a long finger project because I just need a break from lace. I need to get into cables again. Maybe next summer because summer is kind of lacy. Anyway. So, excuse me. So the next project that I've been working on is something quite simple because I've been missing simple knitting. And I have it in this beautiful bag by Kate from Hawthorne Cottage Craft, who gifted me this bag because I was not able to come to Yarn Folk Festival, and oh my goodness, Kate's bags are gorgeous. Look at these snaps. These snaps are saving my life right now. So it's not a zip, so nothing gets caught, and it clips shut and then it folds over, and you just kind of seal it with this little ribbon on a button, and it's really sturdy fabric. It's like a canvas fabric inside and out, and it's got a really nice cushioning and padding, so it stands up really, really nicely. And you just need to open it out a little bit to make a little bucket bag. I love it. And look at those roses. Aren't they stunning? Thank you so much, Kate. This strap is also like proper hardcore. So I have been knitting some of my hand spun into an actual thing instead of just like scrappy blankets. So this is Pullworth that I spun. I'm going to sneeze in a minute. Oh, that's the saddest thing that's ever happened. Fine, okay. So this is Pullworth that I spun, and then I spun it on a VKN actually. It was brilliant. Beautiful stuff to spin, absolutely gorgeous. So this is a 2-ply in a worsted. It really varies from worsted to fingering, probably to lace at some points. But that's okay. And then I dyed it. I dyed it when my friend was over, and she inspired me to dye it purple. And I wasn't too keen with the purple that I was getting, so I added a little bit of like a fuchsia kind of colour, like a hot pink. And it just really kind of gave it a little bit of depth and just warmth, which is so nice. I'm not much of a purple person, but I'm loving knitting with the colour. You know, I wouldn't wear it, but I love knitting with it. It's like when our Dan and Kay were talking about, you know, Dan just really likes knitting with pretty yarn. He loves knitting with pinks and purples, but it doesn't necessarily mean that he'd wear it, but he loves knitting with it, you know. And I totally get that, you know. It's nice to have something pretty and beautiful in your hands while and working with it, but it doesn't mean that you necessarily want to use it or wear it. But it's nice, if it's a gift for someone else as well. Okay, so sorry, all the needles just came off. Not all of them, 4. Might as well be all of them. So I'm knitting. Oh goodness, I better get the pattern up. So that I know what I'm talking about. So with hand spun, you are kind of unlikely to get a to know exactly what yardage you have, right? So it's difficult to follow a pattern because you don't know when you're going to run out. Okay, so I basically into Ravelry. Oh my god, Ravelry is so amazing. I went into Ravelry and I just put in top down hand spun hat because I wanted to start the top and kind of knit until I used it up, and then at the end I would have the brim and I could just roll it up, you know. So I found this perfect pattern called top down hand spun hat with a nice flat top. That's the title, and it's a free pattern by Heidi Nick, and it's awesome because she allows for I basically just wanted to know how to do the cast on, you know, how to do the cast on, how to do the increases. So this is what I've got so far. And so this is hand spun. So that's why it's a little bit buckety here and there, but that's fine. That's the purpose of hand spun. Well, the appeal of hand spun. So it has 4 increases, and then I think I did it wrong actually. I think I was supposed to include a couple more increases in between here, but I didn't. I think it's working out okay. I can't put it on because the needles are too small. I think I actually went a bit bigger than I should have, but it'll just be a slouchy hat in that case. I mean, I don't know. Anyway, I stopped increasing about 3 inches ago, so I'm now just knitting straight down, and then I'll do a rib and cast off whenever I'm finished. I still have a ton of yarn to go though, so yeah, it's so nice. So this is my like in between knitting. I take it round with me. It's handy, it's nice, and I just love the way that it looks kind of super good there, but you can see there's like little thin bits here and slightly thicker chunky bits here, and I just love it. And the dye, I just love the way the dye took. So pretty, so nice. Shh, don't be making noise. I'm gonna mute you for future purposes. So I'm knitting these on Chow Goose, size 4.5 millimeter on the cable that is this size. I don't know what it is. 16 inch maybe. Yeah. So I'm happy with that. So speaking of dyeing, you may have seen on Instagram that I dyed up some yarn and I put it on Etsy, and it all sold out, and I'm kind of like, okay, so let me tell you the story. So I've been thinking about dyeing yarn for a long time, just for myself, literally just for myself. I couldn't find some colors that I wanted, and I'd be searching around, and the only place I could find them was be in America, and the import fees would be way too much for Ireland, and blah, 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 blah. So I put in an order for some bare yarn, and it arrived about a week ago now, maybe a bit more. And it was just sitting there. And I have some dyes. I have some Ashford dyes that I bought that you might have seen in previous videos that I got in Australia in the Spinners Guild. I'm a bit cold actually. I'm going to pop on a shawl. This is the Budding Bluebells shawl by Mina Phillip. And I love this lace. It's so nice. Yeah, I had this dye and I had this stuff, and I didn't really do anything with it. I was like, what a waste of money. And I was going around town and I had to pick up stuff from the doctors and all that stuff, and I'd run out of podcasts to listen to. So I put on my Audible, and on Audible, I don't know when I bought this, a long time ago, but it was a kind of a conversation series with the author of The Artist's Way, who is Julia something or other. Let me find it. Yes, Julia Cameron. And it was called Reflections on the Artist's Way. So I'm not sure if you've seen The Artist's Way. It's a spiritual path to higher creativity. And it's an old book. It's been out for years and years and years and years and years. And I've never actually read it. Because I thought it was a bit mumbo jumbo-y. I thought it was a bit like, believe in yourself. Ah. Like, that never works for me. I'm just like way too, I don't know, judgmental, or not judgmental, but cynical about my own capability for pretending that I'm awesome and then being awesome. You know, like, that's difficult for me to comprehend. But then I started listening to this conversation that she was having, like she was doing talks and she had an interview, and all of the excuses that I had for not dyeing yarn, for not setting up something like a business or being calling myself an artist, or not, you know, officially calling myself an artist. Like, all of those excuses were blown straight out of the water. And I came home from doing my jobs and I immediately started dyeing yarn. Like, immediately. I cannot stress how much of a switch this was. I immediately started dyeing yarn, dyed up some yarn, was absolutely delighted with it, got on Etsy, set up my shop and listed the yarn. And I was actually intending to put it on there and kind of like let it sit, not put it public, until I decided what I was going to do, until I had more yarn, until I had some sort of plan. And I couldn't find that button to make it like, you know, when you have that shop update and you're like, yay, it's open, yeah, there's 50 billion skeins there, have fun. I couldn't find that button, so instead I just made them all go live. There wasn't that many in there at all. I think there was only 5 to 10. I think it was only 5 skeins really, and it was just like a test, not a test, but just to have them up there and be like, well, that's done now. I've done that, and we'll see what happens. And then I put it on Instagram, and then 2 hours later, everything was gone. And I was like, it's like 2 days. There was no build up. There was no like long-term business organization. None of this kind of making up your business plan and checking to see all of your money, you know, all that stuff. None of that. And it's just gone down so well. So apparently I've decided to open an Etsy shop, and I've decided to start dyeing yarn. Sometimes I wonder what my brain is doing. I'm just this bystander, and my brain is directly controlling my body, and I'm just there going, what are you doing? But I'm so grateful to everybody that has bought the first few skeins of yarn. And I have them all packaged up, and they're going to get sent out on Monday. It's Sunday today, so I'm going to post them tomorrow. And hopefully all of my postage estimates were right. I have no idea. They might adjust over time because you know the way postage goes. So I was panicking then, of course, because I was like, oh my gosh, this is successful. I can't. Oh my God, what if I'm never able to do this again? You know, what if this is the one time that I've done it right, and every other skein of yarn is going to be terrible, like, you know. So, but I caught the bull bite. I was like, no, that anxiety is not allowed because of this book, this Artist's Way thing. You know, she spoke all about that. It was like, every excuse that I had in my brain, she just slapped down. She was like, nope, just make it. Nope, just make it. Nope, just make it. Okay, Julia. So I did it. I did write down everything because I've been told to do that I'd actually been telling someone else to be doing that quite a lot. So I was like, I must do what I say I'm going to do. So shall I show you? Did I show you the yarns? If you haven't seen them already, I have actually done up a lot more now. Oh, I feel it's so silly, but it's not silly. It's fine. Oh yeah. So the first couple of skeins, I haven't actually made another one anyway. So the first 3 skeins, I don't have the third one because I've packaged it all up and I haven't dyed it again, which I must actually. They were nice. I like them. So this was the first skein that I put up on my Instagram account, and this was the one that I love the most. And I was told that this one has to be called Grace's Aura. So it's got this like beautiful minty green, it's really, sorry, the light is quite bad. Let me just see if I can adjust this slightly. All my pretty things that haven't gone up on a wall yet are just sitting here. Now we'll see if this works a bit better. Yes, that's a bit better. Yes. So it's got this really, really pretty kind of brown, kind of a tan color. See, this is really bad. I'm not very good at describing things, colors specifically. But it's just so pretty. I just love it. And it was actually inspired by a picture I got off Pinterest. It was this beautiful watch, stopwatch, not a stopwatch, pocket watch, and it had the earth engraved on it in this gold or brass, I think it was brass, and then the actual body of the watch was this beautiful teal enamel, and it was just stunning. And it just reminded me of old maps, you know, kind of aged and yellowed over time, and the sea has kind of got this yellow kind of minty teal to it. And I just love it. But I've been told that it has to be renamed Grace's Yarn or Grace's Aura or Vanna Willamille or something, because apparently it's just me in a yarn. So I'm delighted with that. I've kept 3 for myself and I've dyed 3 more. So they will be going up. The second one I tried is slightly more blue. I don't know if you can see this now, but I don't know. Anyway, so the second one I dyed was a little bit more bluey, but I think I know how to fix that. So trying to get them consistent is always going to be impossible, right? Because it's hand-dyed yarn, but they're so pretty. So pretty. So I was really, really proud of those. And then I was looking out the window as that was boiling away, and it was just the most beautiful sunset. It was like a really beautiful blue sky, like on the turn to the dark, you know. So it wasn't like bright blue and it wasn't a deep blue. It was like an in-between. And then there was like streaks of clouds, and we do get amazing, amazing sunsets in Ireland. Something to do with the Gulf Stream and the Atlantic Ocean pushing in the clouds. Super pretty. And also the air is very clean. We've got a very the light refracts differently. It's very humid, so there's quite a lot of like refraction in the air as well, and there's very little pollution, which gives us amazing skies. So this one is called August Sunset, just because it was August and I watched a sunset that was super beautiful. So this is the second one that I've dyed, the second lot that I've dyed. The first base that I dyed was a wool, 75% wool, 75% polyamide blend. And I asked the manufacturer, you know, what's the breed, and they couldn't really tell me. So this second batch that I have is merino, so it's traceable. You know, it has the breed of the wool on it, so it's 75-25 again, superwash merino, and everything is superwash that I have at the moment. I've been I'm going to be experimenting a lot with a lot of different bases. I think we'll see how we go. So yeah, this is August, guys. And then I had Bagan Sunrise, which was based, it was kind of a brown with speckles of oranges and reds, and that was based on the balloon ride I had over Began in the sunrise, and it's just got this really dusty kind of ethereal atmosphere. Really, really pretty. Yeah, so I've dyed up a couple of more. So the dyes, I actually started with the Irish yarn that I had been dyeing. You might remember this from previous episodes. So I just decided to dye up the rest of the batch of the bag of yarn that I bought from Blarney Woolen Mills. So I don't really know what to call these yet, but they dye up so differently. This is Aran weight or worsted weight, like a heavy worsted weight, and they're typically used to make Aran jumpers. But I thought that'd be like a really cool hat. That's quite crazy. I'm not sure if I like it. Sometimes I look at it and I'm like, I love it. Sometimes I look at it and go, that's disgusting. Depends what mood I'm in. And this is beautiful blues because I'm in love with sea blues and kind of sea glass colorways. Yeah, so this is the crunchy yarn. It's delicious. This one was kind of another one where I was like, oh, that's hideous. And then now I kind of like it. So I kind of want to call it tricolour because it's kind of green, white and gold, which is the Irish flag, even though it has these kind of brown muddy tones as well. Maybe I should bring it out on St. Patrick's Day. I thought that was quite cute. And it's Irish yarn, so Irish base. It's the only Irish base I've been able to find. Everything else kind of comes from the UK or Europe. So I'm thinking of... So this one is my favourite, in case you can't tell. It's a dip dye, so it would probably knit up in the stripes, but because it's Aran weight, the stripes are going to be shorter than if it was sock weight, you know. So I think it's quite... I love this one. I just love it. So I dip dyed it, which makes it just so attractive in the skein, doesn't it? I haven't knit up any of my yarn yet that I've dyed, apart from the blue one that or the purple handspun that I've done, which of course is not going to be for sale because I'm using it and I only have the one. But I was thinking about doing some handspun for sale as well, because I love spinning and sometimes I just want to spin and I don't necessarily want to use the yarn afterwards. Like, it'll just build up and build up and build up. So I might put that up for sale as well. And yeah, hopefully if you like it, you like it. If you don't, I have a ton of yarn. So that's I've got a few more that are there. I dyed up, I'll show you the two that I really, actually the three that I really, really like. Where is it? Where's the other one? No. Yes, okay. So I dyed up this one, and this was inspired by Australian beaches. So you've got the kind of the deep navies coming into the light baby blues, kind of as the dark sea, and then you've got a bit of a pop of this yellow. And there was a lot of so in Australia a lot of the beaches are quite dangerous because of sharks or riptides or stinging jellyfish, so they have a lot of warning signs up, and they're all in this like bright yellow. And I think it really kind of, it turned a little bit greenish, but I think I really quite like it. I'll take some really nice pictures. It's difficult to show on here. that annoys me when people say that, so I must remember not to say that. So funny how you turn into... So this is done on the merino, and oh, it's so lovely. Oh my goodness. Wow. So then yesterday I started dyeing on a bamboo blend, and I'm not sure about this, just the way that they're tied up. I'm not entirely sure. They look a bit messy and I might need to redo them all. Anyway, so I did this dip dye of a green, because I love the green. So it kind of goes from a forest green to this gentle mint again. I love it. I love it, I do. And then I kind of went outside of my comfort zone, which are blues and greens. And I dyed up this one, which I really quite like. So this is the, I don't know what to call this even. I've no names for these at all yet. But I really quite like it. I like this kind of red flash. And then the blue flash over here. That's really quite nice. And then you've got this kind of mauve. I think mauve is the word of the season at the moment, don't you think? But I really quite like that too. I also dyed up some cotton, and I absolutely loved the way it wasn't. It's not 100% cotton. It's 50% cotton. No, 50% merino, 25% cotton, 25% polyamide. So actually really good for summer socks, because the merino will still keep its shape. Let me find it here now for you. Oh, it's so cute. So I decided to do tonals in these because, you know, tonals are my. I love them. I love them. So where did I put the? I had another one. Come on, baby. Where are you? That's not you. Wait, did I use you all up? I don't think I did. Ah, here you are. Aha! So I decided to do some tonals. And they're kind of pastel-y, springy, kind of summery colours. And I know I'm probably out of the season. I should be coming into more autumny colours and things like that. But this blush just is so, so lovely. I've got 2 more skeins of this, and I cannot seem to show it right. But it's this very gentle yellow with dashes of peach and very, very, very light pinks. And it just comes up so nice. This pink as well, it's so pretty. It's just the cutest thing you've ever seen. So if you can see that, if it'll focus. So it comes up kind of marled. So the cotton doesn't dye with acid dyes. So it leaves it kind of heathered. You'll see better now on the next few. This one is a colorway that I dyed for my own sweater. It's basically the same type of colorway. This is on a nettle blend, a Ramy blend, and this is on a cotton blend. And I think that it just goes so, so well. It's a very, very, very gentle green. It's just so attractive. It's a really good garment color, I think, because it's almost a neutral. You know, these are all pretty much neutrals. You know, these two are quite neutral. I mean, this pink is a little bit pink, but it's still quite cute. You know, you could use it as an offset for like a brighter color and things like that. And these cottons would be fantastic for summer garments. So I might order a big bunch for spring and dye it up for early spring and summer. Also, the rest of the world could use them. So it's been brought to my attention that wool is very hot in hot parts of the world, like the Philippines, Singapore, the equator, the equatorial regions, lots of Australia, and having something that you can knit that is super soft. This is super soft. That is super soft and is not too warm, so you could physically wear it when it's hot. Like not hot, but warmer than we'd be used to, is something that I think needs to be out there more. I really want to get into more plant-based yarns. I want to try and find a dyer or find a supplier of plant-based yarns. Most of the places that I've been looking at do wool. They're woolen mills, so of course they're just going to do blends including wool. So I think I'm looking in the wrong place. I need to have a look and see where I would find some lovely cottons, linens. I can't think of other plant-based yarns. But I really want to get into that. Now I do love wool. And we've already talked about this. Oh, actually, I have something else to show you. Where is it? Oh, yeah. I'll show you that in a minute. That's amazing. So I was speaking about this last episode, and a fabulous viewer of mine contacted me. And she was saying, anyway, I'll talk about that. I've just one more to show you, and then I'll talk about that. So this is the blue that I dyed on the cotton, and I'm in love with this blue. It's like a denim blue, because if you look, denim is a cotton, but if you look, it actually, the cotton really didn't take on this blue. It's kind of like a navy almost, and it's just fabulous. I really want to knit a garment out of this. I need to order some more of this beautiful yarn. It's so nice. So let me talk about this. So a wonderful viewer contacted me about several yarn companies that actually allow their sheep to grow old, which is something that you would think, oh yeah, surely they do, but they don't. Sheep are a commodity, and we're making money off them. No matter how you look at it, that's what they are. That's why people have them. That's why the farmers exist, right? That's why farmers have sheep. They want to make money off them. So wool is often a byproduct of the sheep, and the sheep is sold for meat, which I don't eat meat, and I dislike that idea that, you know, whatever. Wool, of course, used to be much more valuable, and they used to be kept for their wool, but still after a certain amount of years, when the wool becomes the wool kind of drops in its value, like it's not as good as as like a lamb, you know, like a 1 year shearling or a 2 year hogget. Once the quality of the wool drops, then the sheep are killed for meat or dog food or whatever. So there's two companies. Oh, I've forgotten the second company. Well, there's one company that I was talking, that I looked at both companies that she sent me. I'm going to put them in the down bar. That allow their sheep to live out their full natural lives. Like, this is actually a crazy concept in the world of making money, in the capitalist world. So I went on their website and I fell in love with this colour, because I really want to knit the Selbu Mitten Pattern Club as well. So I bought this yarn. It's amazing. I think I just love the story behind it. So this is the Doulton Border Leicesters, and the website is doultonborderleicesteryarn.com. So I'll show you the little tag. Look at they're so cute, little ears on them. And the yarn is beautiful. It's squidgy. It's definitely soft enough for maybe not like directly around your neck. Well, no, it definitely is actually. It's no merino, but we don't want only merino, do we? I would love to get a base like this. My goodness. So this is probably definitely non-superwash. Yeah, hand wash, dry flat, reshape while damp. Yeah. So this is a DK weight yarn. I got two. I got highly contrasting colors, so I could make beautiful mittens. And this is the shade called Sheep. So there's no dye involved in this one. And this is the shade Raspberry. And they are, they're so beautiful. And I can't get over the customer service on this. So I got a personalized email directly from the lady who was running it, and I can't remember her name. She's so nice. And then she contacted me on Instagram and she said, thank you so much for sharing the story of our farm. And I was just like, thank you so much for allowing these sheep to be proper beings and not just commodities, you know. I just love the story, and I think it's worth sharing. And if you're interested, pop over to their website and see if it's possible or plausible for you to get some of this, because we need to support these people. We need to support people who actually value animals' lives. I know that there is still money being made from this yarn. The animal is still being kept. But this is where my ethical quandary goes a bit crazy. It's like, Grace, come on, like, be reasonable. But I think that this is the most ethical yarn that I have found yet on this planet. Wool, let's call it wool, the most ethical wool. And I've done a bit of searching, so I'm really happy with these. So delighted. And it's going to knit up so wonderfully into colourwork mittens. It's perfect for colourwork. It's toothy, you know. It's got the It's got a really nice halo on it. I don't know if you'll be able to see that. Really nice twist, really nice kind of just soft little halo. And they're going to come up so, so nice. Stitch definition on this would be lovely as well. Really nice for cables, I'm thinking. What do you think? I don't know. Is it going to focus? Is it going to do the thing? Sometimes it does it, and then other times it just doesn't want to. Oh yeah, baby. That's the good stuff. So I'm delighted. And it just says on the tag, from sheep that get to grow old. So thank you so much for that. So, so nice. British wool. I need an Irish wool like this, please. So I think that's about it at the moment. What I'm going to be doing today. Oh, today is going to be exciting. I might show it next week. It depends on how much footage I get. So, oh, also the weather's supposed to be terrible. So I'm a bit annoyed about that. But anyway, it is National Heritage Week here in Ireland, and I'm going to a spinning and textile demonstration day in Craiganoan, which is, I did take a video of it previously, and I'm going back there today, and we're going to be showing people what spinning is about. So I bought one of the women that I know, Liz, she got me some, what's this again? Romney fleece. Beautiful stuff. Oh my goodness. So this is Romney, and I put it in a swint. And now a swint is basically where you put it in a bucket of water and you leave it in the bucket of water for about a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks in my case, because I was in hospital. You'll have to forgive me. And it was disgusting. It kind of ferments or something. It kind of, gross. But I took it out. I tipped it out when I actually got James to do it, and he was just like, the smell, keep it away from your house if you're going to do this. I tipped it out and washed it off with a hose and let it dry over the space of probably like a week, because it was really rainy. It's just not stopped raining here in August. It's ridiculous. And there is no smell left. This is the cleanest fleece I've ever worked with. I didn't even do there's no detergent in this whatsoever. None. And this is what I've got left. It's amazing. So you've still got a little bit dirty tips, and that's fine. You just brush that out. And I've been making these rolags. And these rolags are the bounciest things I have ever seen in my life. So this is just in preparation for tomorrow. But they're so bouncy. Let me show you. Just like bouncy, bouncy, bouncy. You can almost even hear it. Oh, it's so nice. Oh, it smells like there's no smell left of the swint. They say that once the fleece doesn't smell like the swint anymore, it's dry, which is a great way to find out if it's dry. Because it can be tricky, because wool retains water so hard. So I've got these beautiful, and I haven't spun it yet, and I'm excited to start spinning. I was also wondering if I've only got one braid of fibre left from Irish Fairy Tale yarns, and I was wondering if I should spin that at the fibre day, or if I should spin it like from the fleece. But I'm gonna have to stop and make loads of rolags. But I suppose that'll be good too. Oh, this is so nice. I think this one will definitely go with this one. I think. What do you think? I think that colour is that colour. So I'm going to be able to put that with that and do some sort of gradient shawl, I think. Yeah. And I'm going to keep that label because it's important. I've lost the other labels on the other one. So because they have their colours numbered so that they're able to reproduce and make them again. So if I want to get them again, I have to remember the numbers. So yeah, I can't decide on that one. What else have I been doing? Oh, there's something else. Oh, definitely something else. Oh yes. So on one of the VKNs, we were talking about spinning, and especially spinning with dyed fibres, because I've ended up with loads of these gradient yarns, and I don't really know what to do with them apart from hats or cowls, because there's not really enough to do a scarf, you know, Couldn't really do socks with them because I'm not good enough yet. I need to do like at least a 3-ply, I think, on socks, or a very high twist, or I don't know, get better, whatever. But so Tina, my friend Tina, recommended the craftsy class with Felicia Lowe called Spinning with Dyed Fibres. Oh my goodness, I have never learned more in my entire life from this one class, like from this class. Oh my goodness, it's amazing, amazing, this class. If you're interested in spinning and you've got like, if you don't really know what to do with these fabulous kind of fancy yarns, like with loads of crazy colors in them, and you're not sure about how to work it, if you might hate the yarn at the end because it might go muddy if you mix all the colors together. It kind of looks a bit if you don't like the barber pulling. She tells you how to get every single effect you could possibly imagine. She tells you how to preserve the color if you want stripes, or if you want like little blips, if you want a variegated yarn. She tells you how to make the yarn, like physically make the yarn out of dyed fibres. It is the most educational class I have ever taken. It is fantastic. 100% recommend. Worth every penny. That's my tip for today. That's my recommendation. I hope that you are feeling good. I hope that you're not being too affected by world events that are around us. I refuse to talk about them. And I hope that if you are blocked in any way by any creative way at all, that you put those voices aside, put those negative voices or negative people's opinions around you who think that you can't do it. Just put them aside and do it anyway. Distract yourself with a podcast and do it anyway. You know, I definitely think that with creative people, to be honest, I think every person is a creative person. I don't care if people say, oh, I can't draw a thing, but you might be able to paint, you might be able to create a beautiful cake, or you might be able to write something wonderful, amazing poem, or you might be able to, I don't know, play beautiful music. Whatever creative outlet you have, crippling it or stopping it because of someone else or your own voice or your own confidence in yourself it's painful. And for me anyway, after listening to this talk on the artist's way, it's just freed me up so much to be, and now I've got all this beautiful stuff around me, and I'm so happy. And that's what life's about. It's trying to be as, happiness. It's everyone's search, but it's difficult to be happy if we're being told no by ourselves. So today, say yes and do something that you love. And it doesn't matter if you think it's no good. It doesn't matter. Just do it anyway. So I love you lots. Mind yourselves. Stay safe. Stay happy. And have a cup of tea. Be nice to yourself.